Everyone knows about the Satanic Panic. It got kicked off with the book called Michelle Remembers, written by a Canadian psychiatrist and his patient and future wife, Michelle, which used the now discredited practice of recovered memory therapy to make claims about satanic ritual abuse involving Michelle. And everyone got in on the act after a lot of people had their lives ruined over these types of claims. A 1994 article in the New York Times stated that of the more than 12,000 documented accusations nationwide, police were not able to substantiate any allegations of organized cult abuse. And I think this panic has its roots to a spring festival that originated in the ancient Celtic cultures of Ireland and Scotland, and possibly the not so ancient group called the Church of Satan. Beltane, a Celtic fire festival, is a celebration marking spring and the peak of fertility. It's a time when the veil between the human and spirit world thins and rituals involving fire, livestock blessings, and community rites happen to encourage growth and protect the land. The name Beltane, meaning bright fire, is associated with the Celtic god Bel, or Belinus, a deity of fire and the sun. It's observed on May 1st, but celebrations often started the night before, on April 30th, and involves lighting bonfires, dancing around maypoles, and decorating with flowers. Then we get Hexenacht, which translates to Witches' Night, and in Germanic folklore, on the night of April 30th, witches fly their broomsticks to the top of the highest mountain peak known as the Brocken. There they party with the devil and await the arrival of spring. Germans used bonfires and dancing to expel witches and evil spirits on that night. Then came the Christians who, after years of bloody warfare, began to change the pagan holidays to their own, which brings us to Walpurgis Night. Saint Walpurga was a German nun and head of a monastery in the 8th century. It is celebrated on April 30th, when she was canonized, the patron saint against the plague and rabies, with some claiming that she drove witches out of Europe. So Hexenacht came to be called Walpurgis Night. Then we get to Anton LaVey, who founded the Church of Satan in 1966 and declared Walpurgis Night as one of the holiest days of the satanic year. Satanism wasn't much of a topic until LaVey came along. He modeled Satanism off a lot of the history of witches, magic, occultism, and philosophy. And he garnered a lot of attention in the late 60s into the 70s, which I think unintentionally primed the pump for things like Ronald Reagan and the Christian right, Al and Tipper Gore, who are on the left, inventing the parental advisory warning labels that censored the arts, daytime talk shows like Oprah, Geraldo, Sally Jesse, Donahue, including the entire mainstream media complex to get this whole thing burning. So the ancient Celtic Sabbat, or religious festival of Beltane, which merged with the Germanic May Day, was Christianized to celebrate the canonization of Walpurga that was then claimed by Anton LaVey and turned over to the Satanists, which then was manipulated by Christians, politicians, and TV personalities who sold their souls to the Satanic Panic for ratings and money, and a lot of innocent people got ran over by it. I remember all that satanic stuff in the 80s. It led to me reading quite a bit up on witches, occultism, and Satanism, which also got me into the Old Norse and Greek mythologies, and I still enjoy all of those subjects. I have an acre-sized garden that's devoted to these kinds of things, and even a grave dedicated to Walpurgis Night that sits behind a flower bed. On the back of it reads, "There is a mountain very high and bare, whereon it is given out that witches hold their dance on Walpurgis Night." Jacob Grimm, 1883, who is one of the Grimm brothers who gathered all of those wonderful fairy tales. So what have we learned as a society from the Satanic Panic and the fake media hype? Nothing. Just turn on any news or talk show and it's pandemics, Nazis, or the next outrage of the day. So there is no real moral to this story, other than it's just going to keep happening. But tomorrow is the 30th of April, so happy Hexanacht, or Walpurgis Night, or Beltane, or May Day. Good night. Boo.